Chapter 16, Feudal and Late Medieval Europe, Section 4, Beginnings of Modern Government. We're going to first talk about the English government. We'll start with a guy named Henry II, who brought some consistency to the legal system in England when he sent royal judges to every part of the country, and these judges would then deal with common law. Common law are laws based on local customs. So it meant that decisions in one part of England could be different from those in another. Judges, however, were not independent from the royal government, which means that royal laws were intended to apply to all England, so that would make more people in England receive equal treatment. In 1199, King John, who was one of the youngest sons of Henry II, came to power, and he liked to fight in many wars. But as a result, he also lost a lot of wars. And the wars weakened England financially. And so in order to help pay for some of these wars, he taxed the nobles and other people in England. And nobles were not happy with his policies. And they told him that he must recognize their rights as English people. So they gathered up all these rights that they thought that the king needed to know and wrote them down in a document called the Magna Carta. And then they met with King John and forced him to sign it in 1215. And some of the things that were listed on this document were things like guaranteeing protection under the law and a trial by jury. They could not also collect money or tax nobles without their approval. In 1264, nobles removed King Henry III from the throne after he broke an agreement with them. And instead of replacing him with another king, they replaced him with a representative body called Parliament. Parliament included nobility, high-ranking church officials, and representatives from cities and towns. Henry's son, Edward I, took back the throne in 1265, but he did not get rid of Parliament, and Parliament has remained a fixture in England since. Parliament consists of two houses, or groups of people, and that's the House of Commons and the House of Lords. And these two groups collected taxes, made laws, and limited the power of the monarch, meaning the king or the queen. Now we're going to talk about the rise of modern democratic thought. We'll start with something called an independent judiciary. An independent judiciary is when you have a court system and it is independent from the government, meaning it acts as a separate body from the regular government. It makes its own decisions. One legal right that started in England was something called habeas corpus, which keeps the government from jailing people without cause. And this is one right that we as Americans in the United States have too, is habeas corpus. That is the end. A government elected by the people to represent their interests is a representative government. That's exactly what Parliament is. And if you think of the United States, Congress is a representative government. And another important step is suffrage, which means the right to vote. It took many years to be accepted for that all people had the right to vote in England. That is the end of section 4.